God bless you, Cornerstone guests and visitors, and welcome to our online Bible study. This is the day that the Lord hath made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Look at this, a smiley face. That's my outline. That's my message for today, a happy face. Why is that? Well, Lord willing, weather permitting, we are having an outdoor service this Sunday, 11 o'clock. We'll do live stream Saturday night at 6, as well as Sunday morning at 9. Same as usual, but 11 o'clock service, we're not live streaming it. We're going to be meeting here at church, outside, in the parking lot, and in the grass. And I want to just give you a couple announcements concerning that. The governor has allowed churches to gather together to meet and worship. We do not fear breaking the law or anything. She's given her approval to do this, all right? So we have the government's approval, as well as I contacted the Highland Township Sheriff's Department, talked to them about what we're planning on doing this Sunday, and they also gave their approval. All they are concerned about is whether or not we are maintaining social distancing. I told them it's going to be people in cars and also standing outside in the grass, worshiping the Lord. He says if we send a deputy out there to see what's happening, all we're after is whether or not people are maintaining social distancing. So we have governmental approval, we have police approval, so we're good to go. We feel really good about this. A little bit of the rules or the guidelines. If you don't like rules, how about guidelines for this Sunday? If you're sick, we ask that you please stay home. Also, we're not going to be opening the building. So nobody's allowed in the building. Unless there is an emergency, then obviously we'll let you use the building. But the building will be closed unless there's a real emergency. Number 3, wear face masks if you prefer. They're not mandated. Okay? Number 4, maintain social distancing at all times of 6 feet. So if you're in your car, obviously that's a pretty safe place to be. But if you're outside your car, we ask that you greet one another with a wave, a hello, an air hug. Maintain your social distancing. We want to require this, all right? Help us out with this. Also, families with children 8 years of age and under, we ask that you please try to keep your children in the car. Why is that? Well, children have a hard time with social distancing. They're going to be running around. And if you can keep your children with you, by all means, and you can do this, by all means go ahead and do this. But 8 years of age and under, this is our recommendation, all right? This is our guideline. Please keep them in the car. I think this will help maintain an attitude of safety. The parking lot, the north parking lot, that's going to be used by those that will be parking, getting out of your car, and coming around to the south lawn to worship the Lord with us. The south parking lot, that's going to be used for those that are going to be staying in their car, all right? Also, offering will be taken up by text, online, or by sending it in via the mail, all right? We encourage you to arrive early for a parking space. If you're going to be worshiping the Lord in your car, we encourage you to arrive early to get a good parking space. We're going to have lots of speakers out there. We're going to have live worship. I'm going to be giving a message. We're going to be doing a message, 2 different messages. So we're going to do an online message Saturday night and Sunday morning, and then a whole different message for those that will be here 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. So I'm excited about this. I hope that you are as well. We need God to give us a great weather day, and we're praying for safety, health, and protection for all those that attend. It's going to be our first gathering back together, and we're going to believe God for a great time. All right, we have worship, we have Bible study. We'll move right into that at this time. God bless you, and I can't wait to see you Sunday at 11.
Well, thank you, Pastor Tim, and I'm just so excited to see everyone on Sunday for our outdoor service at 11 o'clock. It's going to be just awesome to be all together. Well, today I want to share a passage with you out of 1 Kings 17, and it's a passage that the Lord has been ministering to my heart, and I believe that it's going to minister to you as well today, and you're going to find great encouragement from this. So 1 Kings 17, I'm going to start off with verse 10. So he went to Zarephath, we're speaking of Elijah. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks. He called to her and asked, "Would you bring me a little water in a jar so I may have a drink?" As she was going to get it, he called, "And bring me, please, a piece of bread." "As surely as the Lord your God lives," she replied, "I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die." Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said, but first make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me. And then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says: the jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the land." So she went away and did as Elijah had told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and for her family. For the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word the Lord had spoken to Elijah. You know, something I look forward to every morning, and I'm sure you're the same, is I look forward to that very first cup of coffee. My husband and I, we wake up, we head downstairs to the kitchen, we get those fresh coffee grounds in our coffee maker, and oh, I just love the smell of that fresh brewed cup of coffee, and I just can't wait to begin to sip and enjoy that very first cup of coffee. Well, something that I just want to drop into your mind and in your heart today is to make that first cup count. You know, as I enjoy my first cup of coffee, I could be doing lots of things. I could be busying myself with the kids. I could be starting laundry or getting my to-do list together. But something that the Lord is always drawing me to do, encouraging me to do, is to make that first cup of coffee count and to spend it with Him, to begin the first part of my day with the Lord. And so paired with that first cup of coffee, how I make that first cup count, as I've got this right here with me. I've got my Bible, I've got my journal, I've got my pen, and I'm sure to spend the first part of my day with the Lord, making that first cup count. And so as we look at this passage in 1 Kings 17, I think there's some lessons from the widow that we can gather that connect to this make the first cup count idea. And I believe it's really going to encourage you because it encourages me as well. As we look at this widow and her interaction with Elijah, the first thing that I see this widow do is that she admitted her need. You know, as Elijah asked her to bring him the bread, to make some for him, she could have just said, okay, and fearfully brought it to him, but she saw that as an opportunity to express her need, to let her know the true condition of her heart, of her family, and where they are at. And let me just encourage you, as you come face to face with the Lord each day, as you go to Him in prayer, admit your need. Admit the condition of your family. Admit the condition of your heart. What do you need for the day? I know for myself, I need wisdom. I need patience. I need grace. I need strength. I need energy. And as I go to the Lord each day, I can either hide those needs from Him or I can bring them out into the open. I can admit those needs before the Lord, just like the widow admitted her need before Elijah. Another thing that I see interesting here is that Elijah tells the widow to go home. Go home. That's where the miracle is going to happen. That's where the provision is going to happen. And in this season where we are home so much, teaching from home, working from home, eating at home, being home, isn't it awesome that we can see our homes as a place, as a platform for the miraculous things to happen? Every day in your home, there can be supernatural provision of grace. Every day in your home, there can be supernatural supply of strength, of peace, of the presence of God. Our home is a place for the miraculous to happen, for breakthrough to happen. Something else I see, the invitation that Elijah gives to this widow, is he says, would you first give me bread? Would you give me the first portion? And then I promise the portion will be there for you and for your family. So let me encourage you today, give your first to the Lord. Make that first cup of coffee count. How do you spend the beginning of your morning? How do you spend that first bit of energy, that first time that you start your day? How are you spending that? Just like Elijah invited the widow to give that first to the Lord, I believe there's an invitation for us to give our first to the Lord. And you know, I find in my house, with my children, it takes some work to create that space, to be in the Word, to spend time with the Lord. You know, if I were to wait for conditions to be perfect in my house to spend time with the Lord, I believe it would rarely happen. Rarely do you get that perfect night's sleep, or you wake up with the best energy, or the kids are perfectly peaceful. But my husband and I have to work together to create that space, to create that time, to make that first cup count. We get our kids busy with breakfast. They're watching a show. My husband and I steal away to another room where we can just pray, sit before the Lord. So be intentional to give that first to the Lord. Even if it takes a little bit of work, it's a daily sacrifice. The next thing that I see that is just awesome in this passage of Scripture is as she gives that first loaf of bread to Elijah, there's a promise that there's going to be provision for her and for those that she loves. There's going to be bread, there's going to be supply, not just for her because of the sacrifice that she gave, but there's also going to be bread for her family, for her son. And boy, I find that true as a mother. As I fill up on the Lord, as I sit in His presence and His strength ministers to me, as His love ministers to me, I can then pour out to my children that same love and that same strength. As I fill up and I spend time with the Lord, I can then overflow into my family and into those I come into contact with. And so what a great promise is that provision will be not only for my heart for that day ahead, but for my family as well. What an awesome thing that our loved ones can be impacted by our daily sacrifice, that they will be impacted and touched as we do that daily sacrifice of giving our first to the Lord. Another thing that I see is it says that she went away from Elijah and did as she was instructed. She put it into practice. He didn't just tell her to do it and she pondered on it and thought about it or adjusted it to make it comfortable for her. Well, maybe every other day I'll do it, or if I look in that jug and it looks like there's enough flour or oil, then I'll do it. But she put it into practice. Every single day she did exactly what the man of God told her to do. She gave him first the bread, and then there was enough for her and her son. So again, not waiting for conditions to be perfect or those days where you're feeling that energy and that strength, but it's that daily sacrifice of, Lord, no matter how I feel, I'm going to put this into practice of giving you my first, of seeking your face and being with you. And the last thing that I see here is her practice led to the promise. The flour was not used up. The jug did not run dry. Make your first cup count, and you will not run dry. I hope this word blessed you today. Be encouraged to give your first to the Lord. And here in just a moment, we're going to close with some worship with Minister Rob. God bless you. All right, won't you join us as we sing this song, Fill Me Up. Oh, come fill me up. Sing it out. You provide. You provide the fire, God. I'll provide the sacrifice. You provide the Spirit, God. I will open up inside. You provide the fire. You provide the fire. I'll provide the sacrifice before you, Lord. You provide the Spirit. I will open up inside. So come fill me, Lord. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me, oh, 'cause you provide the fire. I'll provide the sacrifice. Oh, I lay me down. You provide the Spirit. I will open up inside. So come fill fill me up, God, fill me up, oh, until I overflow, and fill me up until I overflow. I want to run over, I want to run over, fill me up until I overflow. I want to run over, I want to run over, fill me up until I overflow. I want to run over, I want to run over, God. I want to run over, I want to run over, oh Lord. Fill me up every day, oh, sustain me, God. Thank you, Lord, I give it all to you, Lord. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up, God. Fill me up. Thank you. Well, God bless you today.